I will thank you for joining our conversation today. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about learning English and sometimes the confusion that can happen from speaking a mother language like Vietnamese and then learning English. And in training, we often call that interference. So one language interferes with the learning of the second language, and what often we see is that crossover happens where you bring rules and structures and habitual learnings from your first language into your new language. So can you think of offhand like any examples of where you apply Vietnamese pronunciation or grammar rules in speaking English, errors that you make? I can give you an example. For example, in some languages they don't have plurals, so they will say one car, two car, because in their language they don't have the plural. So when speaking English they don't apply plurals, and that's what we call by the transfer error. It's bringing that mindset, that set of rules from that language into the new language. And that's why often a teacher keeps correcting you over and over and over again. It's not really that you keep making the same mistake, it's a habit, and it's very difficult to break, and it's just interfering with the new language. Can you think of any examples that Vietnamese speakers struggle with when learning English? What's the hardest thing about learning English from a Vietnamese speaker's perspective?
With me, in English, there are so many tenses. In Vietnamese, we don't really have many tenses. Like we just use simple sentence like present tense.
Sure.
But in English, you have lots of tenses.
So would you say I am going shopping in Vietnamese, or would you just say I go shopping?
I think I will go shopping. Like in English, you have present tense and present perfect tense and present perfect continuous.
Yes.
In Vietnamese, we don't have present perfect continuous or present perfect tense. Just we have something like past tense, and present tense and future tense.
Future.
But,
in the simple forms.
Yeah.
So does that affect you when you're learning English?
Yeah. In English, I normally use just simple tense and rarely use like perfect continuous. Yeah.
Would you say that you make mistakes in speaking English because you don't know the rules, or because you neglect them because of the habits you have with your own language?
The habit, the habit.
The habit?
So sometimes I don't really remember the differences between the tenses.
Mm-hmm.
Like with me, if I translate to Vietnamese, it's kind of similar.
Yeah, sure. Are there any examples that you can think of where your Vietnamese language interferes with the way you use English?
So in kinds of like in a conversation, for example. So we have like, I think that the way of thinking in Vietnamese a little bit different from in Eastern countries. I think Western countries. Yeah. So because when we want to react to any question, so we have to translate it into Vietnamese, and then we have to translate Vietnamese into English, and then we will talk it down to the listener. So it will like slow the way of interactions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you have what we call an interlanguage. Yeah.
So
Thanks for your little insights into